SiriusXM is where moments happen, and you'll find them here 24/7. In music, talk, sports, comedy, and news. Live and on demand. And they're on in your car, online, or on the app so you won't miss a thing. Visit SiriusXM.ca/never miss a beat. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Ben Wu for another CMA Connected lunchtime learning session. TGIF, love it, Friday, weekend ahead. But before we get to the weekend, we've got a really interesting episode ahead of us for the next 30 to 40 minutes. And today we're going to kind of veer off what we've been doing for the last while. We know we've had a real heavy focus on audio, which is great because we all love audio. But there's so many other opportunities in 12 volt. And I think today's guest, along with the brand he represents, exemplifies that. And it's no wonder they have over 8,000 SKUs in the catalog. Of course, we're talking about a brand that specializes in in-car entertainment, conveniences, and a whole slew of other things. But I'm going to bring him on and let him talk about it. His name is Christian Wei, and he's the Vice President of Accele Electronics. Welcome to CMA Connected, Christian.
Hey, good morning, man. How are you? Or good afternoon, I should say.
Well, it's afternoon over here. I know you're out on the West Coast and probably sipping into your first coffee of the day.
I'm sure someone else, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so.
It always is. Hey, listen, Chris, we're pretty excited to have you guys on for this one because, like I was mentioning in our intro here, we've been having a pretty heavy focus on audio, but there's so much more to the 12-volt specialty retailer business than just audio. And I think Accele Vision is one of those brands that fills up that category really well. Why don't you give us a little bit of background on the company?
We've been in business for over 30 years. I've been with the company for, 20, I want to say 29. I think this upcoming year is 30. That's kind of frightening. It's a long time at a company. But, we started out as, really just trying to, give everybody what they needed to install a car stereo really back in the day. Connectors, butts, hardware. And as that business changed, we had a change of ownership, and a gentleman by the name of Alan Arzamanian came in and took the helm, and he's an engineer. So just heavy focus on like niche products. And we really began to kind of focus on that and break away and go into more hard goods, which kind of led to us getting into LCDs and mobile entertainment and then vehicle safety systems, et cetera, et cetera. But it really started with that. It started with, pallets of wire and connectors, and we supplied everyone from, Circuit City. It's funny when you look at all the partners that come and go. It's some are sad, but Circuit Cities, the Best Buys. Then we really supplied everybody, Good Guys to Tweeter. We had a really good footprint in hardware back in the day.
And I think you continue to do so because I think you've carved out a little bit of a niche in the market. In Canada, I've known of Accele Vision for quite some time. I know some of our viewers, well, just for example, somebody wants to say hi here. Vacho and Nessin saying hi here. But like,
man, I love that guy.
I remember Accele being really a leader, especially in the flip down screen market, way before anybody else was. So, of course, we don't want to dwell completely on the past, but let's be honest here. Our listeners are Canadian dealers and enthusiasts, and there is a piece of Accele Vision equipment. I mean, I'm pretty confident, pretty much in
and just about anywhere. Yeah, it's funny. Again, our engineer, our owner, being an engineer, it's interesting. It's great to work with him, obviously, but he's an engineer. So he comes in with literally it's 10 ideas a week, or a day, and 9 of them are scatterbrained. And one of them is really, you're looking at it going, wow, I think we can do something with that. So I remember I was running our facility. This is like back in 93. I was actually heading up our distribution facility, and he comes in, and he's just kind of rolls in the warehouse like Kramer, when he enters a room, and he's like, hey, listen, we got to get these fences. We got some really high ticket items coming in, and he shows me this like 4-inch screen, and I'm like, I don't know, man, and sure enough, from that, it just really kind of blew up, and we had to really make a decision on, as a company, where we wanted to go at that point. Did we want to be an everything company, or did we really want to start focusing um, on being specific and driving in certain directions with a little more with a little more velocity? And you can't do that when you're scattering all over the place. So
Mhm.
so we did that. And I kind of asked him, we had a conversation, like, at that point, I'm like, do you want to be a video company or do you want to be an everything company? And he's like, I want to be a video company at that point. And we just really, from that point, had really, really big focus on that category. And we did a good job. I mean, we were the first ones to launch it in '94, at CES. First ones to have video or LCDs on the floor. We had a bunch of first headrest monitor, one of the first to launch, overhead video. So we really kind of, we got out front pretty quick, and it was it was a good move on our part.
And the story from there really evolves into some brilliant products that we're gonna hopefully touch on a couple key ones, because obviously we don't have 800 hours to go through the entire catalog, but
right.
I think we've taken the time to kind of focus on one or maybe a couple pieces that will be really interesting that dealers need to know about right now. But before we do that, let's set the stage here. So Accele Vision in Canada is distributed through who exactly?
Yeah, so we have two distributors, great partners, Importel and BB Distribution, formerly B&B. If you're, this is like a commercial for them, but I mean, if you're not doing business with either one of those, you should really reconsider it. Canada, like, to us, and to me specifically, like you just saw Vache, chimed in and said hello. I mean, I've known Vache for 25 years, and he'll probably be the first one to tell you, like, I really kind of cherish our relationships in Canada, and it's really one of the, as I've grown in the company, I don't really have many accounts. I don't have territories. Canada is one of the ones that I just never gave away, just because I've had such good fortune and good relationships there. And it's not, I mean, to us, it's not, Canada's not a, another state. It's not it's a country and a viable partner. And so, we've done things like launch Accele.ca just to be more of an integral part and kind of make that message known. So, it's important. And those two partners I'm very particular. We've only had really 4 partners. One was Ericsson back in the day. And then we did a lot of business with Staub until they pulled out. And then we really had to focus on just getting both coasts handled properly. And we chose these two partners just because the way they did business, the lines that they carry. I mean, they have a lot of products, outside of ours. So, and just the people themselves. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all selling products. I mean, I get it, but at the end of the day, you have to like and trust the people you do business with day in day, right? And the guys over there, Jay, Jaron, at B&B, Kelly, Trevor, Scott. I mean, all those guys and all their support staff are outstanding at what they do. And again, if you're not even just for our products, but if you're not doing business with those guys, you need to just stop and make that call. They're great people.
I'm going to segue real quick into something that you dropped here in your little dialogue there that's super important. I want to show the folks that are watching. And that is this website. I mean, here is an American manufacturer, right, based in the States, and you've gone ahead and put in the time and effort to create a Canadian-based website. Why don't you speak to us a little bit about the strategy behind this here?
Yeah. Well, again, we go back to us having 8,000 SKUs, right? I said those two are great partners, but and I think they like us a lot as people at a company, but they don't like us. They don't like us enough to stock 8,000 SKUs. So, a lot of issues we were having up there is the communication to the dealer in what was available currently in Canada and what had to be brought in. So what we did is we just went and highlighted the top, 100 plus SKUs that were available through our partners in Canada, and just launched a .ca website just to really highlight on those. Now, I don't want you to, we have trucks going into both locations every week. So, you can also go to our accele.com and see the rest of the SKUs that we carry. And we can, we can drop ship, we can get a special order on. I mean, all those things are really easy. So there's nothing that we offer that isn't available in Canada through our partners. So we don't want to discourage that, but at the same token, we wanted to make it nice and easy. So if you guys have, if the dealers have customers that come in and they want to use our website up there as like a selling tool, they're more than welcome to.
Is there a back-end login or something, or how's that work?
Yeah, there is. What's kind of cool is if you call B&B or call Kelly, wherever your relationships are, you call them Pertel, they'll give you a login, and you can jump in, log in, and then all the dealer pricing becomes upfront, and then you just log out and it goes away. So you can use it as an ordering tool, or you can use it as for quoting, or you can use it just to inform your customers when they walk in your shops.
There's nothing better than to be able to jump on and just show them instead of.
It makes life a lot easier, right?
And no pricing, right? So
no pricing until you log in, and then it appears.
Mm-hmm. Right, perfect. Okay, let's jump into some product, man. I think we got a great understanding of how you're set up in Canada to do business, so that everybody knows Importel BB. That's the way to go. Yep. Why don't we talk about some of the hot picks? I mean, what's going on with Accele Vision right now that you really need to pay attention to?
We have a couple of different categories. Again, since '94 in the video, we broke out into a lot of different categories. ADAS. We have some security products, and again, our owners kind of always looking for those niche things that that no one's really thinking about. If you look at items like our invisible switch is really one of the popular items. It's a switch that you can actually install underneath vinyl up to an 1/8 inch or ABS, and it works on static electricity, which is awesome. Oh. So, for really high end installs, it's not an inexpensive switch, but those are the kind of things that he loves, right? Again, he can, I don't know if you ever seen Lombardi as a football coach. He talks about this one play where basically it's called a sweep, right? And he can run it, and he can, run it in multiple different ways, but he basically pushes all the blockers and runs behind it, and he talks about it. He at one point talked about it for like 8 hours, one play. That's kind of like Alan. He can talk about a relay for 8 hours, but
he likes to go deep.
He does, and he's all in. So he's always kind of going after those things, right? And things that people are missing. So one of the cool items that we in categories that we jumped in is to more seat comfort, with heating systems, massage kits, et cetera, for the driver and passenger seats. And of course, it's a seat heater. Let's not get too crazy about it. It's carbon fiber. There's a couple of them out there. I think what we do better than anyone else is, we increase the gauge and the wire. We do all the necessary things on our carbon fiber up on the sides. If you go all the way up on the side, you'll see that where the power is distributed, we've done like an extra continuity stitch that kind of keeps that path stable, so it doesn't arc underneath the tape. On the 400, which is our new one, we added a couple features though. We added now a 3-position switch, so we do high, low, and medium, not just your standard on off. And we also added a trigger wire, which is really unique. So if you want to trigger it with your alarm, with your keyless entry.
I was just thinking remote starter.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Right. Yeah, and it's a great package for the remote start, right? Yeah, very cool piece. I mean, there's a lot of need for it. There's a timer in the switch, which
have you been to Canada, Christian?
Yeah, it's a little.
There's a need for it.
A little chilly up there.
Let's just put that out there.
Yeah, a little bit, a little cold.
Real cold.
So anyways, yeah, the trigger was really a great idea. We've, that's patent pending for us right now. But it opens up a lot of different worlds. But in order to do the trigger and hook it up to positive, right? Because the car can't be on, obviously, so you can't go to accessories. So we got to go right to the battery if we're going to do that. So we had to integrate a timer. So every 15 minutes, it'll just automatically shut off. And you can either power it back on or power it back off with the switch, or you can override it. I think you had the picture of the seat here. I don't know if I gave you a picture of the switch or not.
Yeah, I know we talked about it, and I'm trying to find an image of it as we speak. But
that's all right.
Yeah,
it's nice. But anyways, it's all illuminated. Yeah, and
is it the 200?
It's a momentary switch that actually just rides you up between high, low, and medium. the cool part about the trigger is you can also do the same. So it's a one pulse. So if you're like, hey man, I just, my car's in the garage. I can't car start it because it's in the garage. I don't want to smoke out the whole family. You can actually just hit the remote 3 times, drive it up to high, and at least your seats will be warm by the time you get in.
Well, I think that's an excellent feature and
It's
a great way to
feature.
add value. If you already have the customer's vehicle in for let's say a remote starter, for example.
Yeah.
Hey, we noticed that you didn't have heated seats in your car. Did you know that that's something?
Yeah. And it's an easy upsell. They're like, yeah, that would be nice on off. But once you get him into the seat heater, now you just want to take him to the different level. And it really just gives you and the dealer just the ability to, just step people up. Right.
100%.
And dealers have to take advantage of that. And it's really, quite honestly, it's worthwhile because you can turn on your car starter. And, in Canada, the actual cabin will be nice and warm, but you sit on that seat and it's freezing. That's no fun. So,
and then it takes a while for the seat to get cool, even once you started driving. So it's like halfway to work and your butt's still cold. So, correct. Hey, I don't know if this is the most interesting thing, but for me, it's interesting being a former installer myself. True. But like relays, dude, like you guys sell a crap ton of relays.
We do. And again, back to, it's probably 2000. I don't know what year it was, but, we were just kind of having some issues about, to be honest with you, it was, how people do business. And back in the day, relays were kind of like the cherry pick item. So, Bosch was kind of the main relay, and people were just, selling it for under cost, to try and gain business. And we got it. We had new competitors coming in, we had the amps at that day coming in, we had the micros of the world, and just a ton of distributors trying to, come in and play. And so it just kind of frustrated us a little bit. We don't like giving away product. It's not how we're going to stick around and be healthy for our dealer base in the long run, right? And most of those guys are gone. So our owner just kind of went back to the drawing board, and he just designed this relay. And it started with our relay 5083. It's a amazing relay. 40-60 amp, copper tabs, copper and silver contacts, spike suppression. It has like a little spike suppression. Basically, it's protecting the circuitry already built into it. Really, when it came down to it, we tested it against the Tyco Bosch relay, and it outperformed that 19 out of 20 tests. So it's really a far superior relay, with a little lower price tag. Dynamite piece. And from there, we just kind of went, we went hog wild, brought in sockets. We have waterproof, obviously, relays, and then into some of our time delays.
Oh,
it was classic. Yeah. So we used to be like one of the biggest Bosch distributors, back in the day, like most relays sold. And then one day after we had this relay out in the market, I think for like 3 or 4 years, my purchasing agent came in and he's like, hey man, we got a problem. I'm like, what's the matter? He's like, well, Tyco bought them, and we gotta order a pallet now. And I'm like, okay, like how many relays on a pallet? He's like, 12,000. Like, just buy the pallet, dude. What do you think? And he goes, we sold 2,000 last year. And so like everybody, once they tried this relay, switched, so we're selling hundreds of thousands of Bueller relays, and we dropped down to 2, just made the absolute flip. And it wasn't like we were pushing, necessarily, but it was a lower cost and people were willing to try it. And once they got that relay, they were like, wow, this thing is amazing. And really, if you think about it, I know that it's not people aren't waking up every morning getting excited and thinking about relays until they have to go replace one, because they're generally not out in the open, man. You got to go digging for them, right? So, do yourself a favor and do your customer a favor, and give them a good relay.
I like this. I like this time delay one. That's pretty neat too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this we've actually done a lot with this one. So the time delay relay, exactly what it sounds like. And now we have a time delay. This was designed just time delay on. So now we've launched the BU 509 TD and the 510. And so they are time delay on and time delay off. So the 508 is time delay off. You want your lights to stay on a little longer after you arm the vehicle and leave, then that would be it, right? And so you actually just crop open the top on this one, as you can see. There's a little rubber on the new model. Yeah, we made it a lot easier. So you open that puppy up, and there's a little pot in there. So you just drop in there and you adjust the time. I think it's from 2 seconds to 3 minutes, right? So, example there, if you want your running boards to stay out, or you want them to stay illuminated for a small amount of time after you arm the vehicle, that would be a great one, right? And you just adjust it for a minute, and then after a minute, the circuit closes. On the contrary, like on the other side, if you think about amp pops and everything else, so as soon as you start the car, once the delay on sees it, then it'll see power, it'll wait for 30 seconds, let voltage distribute throughout the car, and then it'll float power to your sound system, so you'll eliminate all of that. So those are small time delays do, but a very, very, there's a couple other modules on the market that'll do something similar, but they do all this other stuff that's completely unnecessary. A lot of time you just need that, and so it's a very cost-effective way to meet those challenges, right, that you have every day. Nice. We also looked at some other voltage, like obviously you have the like with Fords and GMs, you have I don't know what the terminology is called, but basically your car turns off, at the stoplight until you hit the gas and then turns back on, right?
Different companies call it different things, but yeah.
Yeah. So that actually causes, a dip in voltage and sometimes turns accessory off. So there's been a lot of issues with that. So we launched our voltages. This is the ACC20. Very cool piece. Simple module. You have power, ground, and power out. And so, and if you go into the fuse box also, then you're doing an install and you can't find accessory, right? That's also quite often the case. This will do it for you. So basically, this is not going to trigger. So you do a power and ground. It's not going to turn on until it sees about 13.6 volts. That's really it. And as soon as it sees 13.6 volts, then you'll get power out to whatever device you want, and it won't turn off until about 12.6. So as soon as it goes below 12.6 volts, it'll turn off.
Sweet.
Which is kind of unique. And we've been selling a lot of those. And again, a really, really cost-effective way. Sometimes, the module is so inexpensive that you're probably going to save money when you're under the dash looking for accessory in certain cars.
That's just one of those items you need to have like 6 on the shelf all the time.
You know what I mean? Pretty much, right? Yeah, that's a great piece. And then we just launched this guy. So when we put that on the market, then it came back like certain electric cars, Teslas, certain vehicles wouldn't reach that. They hardly budge above 12. So then we kind of really started digging deeper and finding different challenges that guys are facing, that they just need a lower voltage trigger. So we just came out with the BU 511 LV. We haven't even done a press release on it. You're actually the first one to see this. Yeah, it's just literally.
Hold on. Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's write this down. What is this all? Sorry.
Yeah. It's a BU 511 LV, low voltage.
BU 511. Got it.
Yeah. And this thing will essentially do the same thing, right? Except it'll trigger off 1.5 volts. So, just think about all the
1.5 volts.
1.5 volts, it'll trigger and drop you 12. Correct.
Interesting.
And the pull, so the draw on it is, I think, 2 milliamps, if I'm correct. So there's essentially no draw whatsoever. So it's not going to drain your battery, and it'll trigger off 1.5 volts. So there you go. If you're in a situation in the car, you have an electric car, you have some other cars that just, or some other situation that's not, it's not getting you that kind of voltage, 12 volts, 13.6, any of that area. This will do it. That's the trick.
There to have it. Low voltage relay.
Yeah.
Very cool. I want to take some time quickly to jump over to what honestly, I kind of say your signature product only because
Mhm.
that's where the pedigree of the brand has been, and
Sure.
that is in fold down screens. There's still a need. There's obviously so many applications for fold down screens. Everybody thinks fold down screens. I think minivans, man.
Yeah.
I think fold down screens have found their way into many different scenarios.
They
What's
have.
what's one or two that we want to show the people?
I think since the dawn of the tablet, that's been kind of a challenging thing for people to play in the market. But it's still mobile video is still a viable category. I think people, once they get in the car, they have to keep those charged. Number one. Number two, it's very difficult to share the tablets, right? So having a universal screen in the vehicle that everyone can see and share. It's kind of a better connected moment for the family, and B, um, you know, you can get a bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
So I think that, really where we used to sell a lot more the 10.2s and smaller, we've really begun to sell a lot more of our 17s.
Oh, it's gone the other way.
It's gone the other way. Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Interesting.
Because you can kind of get those, right? 10-inch and a tablet form. But
Right.
this one is really kind of the cream of the crop. That's our AXFD17. It's really our number one seller. And for, every reason. Again, like not to go back and kind of what we do best and everything, but with regards to this product in all of our video, I think, again, are having an owner that is, driving our engineering staff and understands panels for as long as he has. I mean, he's really keen in particular about what panels we put in. You know what I mean? And we're not a company that kind of takes product and puts it, just waits for the container to come in, and we take the container off the boat and open it up and start putting shipping labels on it. And we actually bring it in, we test them all. We do a lot of different QCs in house, just because we want to make sure that the product that goes out is representative of how particular we are in those panels. This one is by far, and I didn't personally make it, but it's the best panel on the market. It's a 17 full 1080p. Ultra lightweight. We offer 2 HDMI on it, USB, SD, and video inputs. Obviously, IR out. It's really, you can walk into the screen. I don't know if I think you've been to our booth before, but I mean, there's a pretty good. It's a pretty nice comparison when you walk into our booths and you take a look at our screens during CES and you go look at other people.
I'm going to be honest. The one thing I noticed right away when I see your product in person, of course, not virtually like this, is the angle of clarity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're switching over to like a big screen option instead of two small screens, I would figure that would be, something huge. You guys had to make sure, without a doubt, that would be a main feature.
Yeah. Again, because what you want to do, it's kind of tricky, right? What you want to do with LCDs is you have to look at the scenario. And again, our engineers do a really good job at that. You have a 17-inch screen that everyone's going to be looking at from multiple different angles. This has to have great off access. This has to have great resolution. This has to have great contrast in a vehicle. Like all those things have to come to play, right? And that's the beauty about the 17, because that just gives you all of those. It's just that nice of screen. But then, we have other ones, that are, headrest monitors. Let's take headrest monitors. We have a 9-inch DVD 9850W. It's a great piece. It offers HDMI. It offers, obviously still a disc in the top, so you can watch DVD, video in. It has USB, SD. It has all those features, but, the panel is good. The panel's very good, but the off access isn't great. We didn't need to invest in this phenomenal off access on a piece that is, quite frankly, 12 inches in front of your face. It's not, it's completely unnecessary, right? It's really designed for one person to sit and watch. In fact, if you have more access, it's distracting for other people, right? So, we kind of balance all those things very, very well. I mean, really what we're trying to do is just give you the best quality product for your application at the best price. And there's a lot of things that go into play there. I mean, I'm sure we're not the only company that that thinks of those things, but I think we're one of the companies that does it best.
I think what you do have is an AXF D17-CW signature edition. Is what you have, according to Ramesh.
Rome, what's up, buddy?
Listen, Christian, it's been an incredible half hour with you. We can go on, and we will expect to, obviously, we're going to have more connected episodes with you where we learn. And I think, like Conrad said here, what we do and we be learning, and that's exactly what this connected session is all about.
Awesome.
You know what? Last words. I'm going to throw it over to you. Obviously, we didn't get to cover everything. We will have that opportunity. What message do you have for Canadian dealers?
My message is, if you're not familiar with us, I mean, hopefully you are now, and you really kind of get a gist of what company, what kind of company we are, and we, again, going back to our partners, we're very particular on who we decide to partner up with in Canada, and I think we have the best partners there in B&B and in Portel. And give our products a shot if you haven't. I know a lot of you have, and the ones all those guys that are out there that have been supporting us in Canada for all these years, I mean, we really appreciate that, and we appreciate the opportunity to continue, giving you solutions. But if you haven't tried our product, give us a shot. Give those guys a call. You try one of our screens. Try one of our relays. Try our seat heater. I think you'll be impressed, and I think you'll find yourself weaving your way back to our catalog and picking out other items that'll help you make money. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? At the end of the day, okay.
And on that note, so many other categories we haven't touched, like it's convenience features and all different kinds of stuff that we'll get into. But yeah, perfect. So there you go, guys. Check out Accele Vision, 8,000 SKUs. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about that. Import, and BB. Hey, Christian, we can't thank you enough for being with us on this Connected. We'll definitely chat with you soon. Take care.
Sounds great. Peace. Everyone be safe.
All right. So there you have it. Christian Way, Vice President of Accele Vision. I love doing outside of the norm. We've been doing a lot of the audio stuff, which we love audio. Don't get me wrong. But I also think this stuff is really cool. And what I like about it most is, we're trying to give you different sessions and different angles by which to expand your business and give you options and maybe, improving not only what you offer to clientele, but opportunities and strategies of how to, gain a little bit of extra sale on every transaction. That's it for this week on CMA Connected. We'll see you next week. Of course, I have to remind you, always check our website, CanadianMobileAudio.com. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. We got a big press release coming out on Monday. Yes, Monday, big announcement. You're going to see it across. Make sure you share it when you hear about it. It's a big deal, like really big deal. And you'll know all about it on Monday. But on that note, I want to wish everybody a great weekend. Thanks again to Chris at Accele Vision. I'm Ben Wu, your host for CMA Connected. Until next time, we connect.